Hey guys, I'm Gentle Occasion, and today we're playing Master of Command, which is a game that, frankly, should have been on my radar a long time ago, but some reason only just sort of popped up. Well, actually saying that, I did get an email a while ago from the developer, but that landed in my spam folder, which is regrettable, because I would have been playing this weeks ago, had I known. But the advantage of the delay means that I do have a discount code and referral link in the description if you want to get it at a discount when it comes out tomorrow. So, hooray! Hooray for huge delays. Anyway, this is basically a Total War game. It's made to be like Total War. The combat, anyway, it feels much, a lot like Napoleon Total War. It's all about muskets and line infantry and cavalry and artillery. That's that classic, sort of Napoleonic sort of era. Though this does happen before the Napoleonic War. There's the 7 Years' War, I think. I think that's the one. I don't really know anything about it, but it takes place centered around the Kingdom of Prussia. So they're the sort of, the face of this war. But the British Crown and Hanover did get involved, as did the Habsburg monarchy, the Russian Empire, and the Kingdom of France. So all the big boys got involved. But anyway, it recommends that you start with these guys, and also on casual difficulty, which we currently have enabled. There's other ones, and weirdly, if you reset the difficulty, it's on standard difficulty, and then these pick things other than normal mode, which is kind of unusual. But anyway, we're going to play on casual, because I'm a filthy casual. No, I want to show off as much of the game as possible, so I'm going to give ourselves a little bit of an easier time so we can experiment and, have some fun with it, basically. I don't know how long this campaign's going to go on for. I have no idea. But I played a bit last night, and I managed to get the achievement for having 10,000 kills. So, battles get pretty big. A lot of casualties. It's pretty cool. We got a lot of items, we got resources, we got all sorts, which we're just going to jump into. There's also Iron Man mode, by the way, if you want to disable additional saves, which I won't do, because, my recording might mess up and then we lose an episode. That's not happening. I never use Iron Man mode, but I am going to play in the spirit of that, right? We're going by the honor system. Okay, so we're not going to save scum. And if I do, you'll see me do it. Alright? No hidden saves coming. Cool. Let's get to it. Alright, so, the way this game works I think is really interesting. You're just controlling an army. Alright, that's it. You're just controlling the one army. So, at the start of every sort of stage, I guess, you pick a theatre to fight in, right? So you pick an objective. So we can either occupy Greater Poland, raid Thuringia, I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know how that would be pronounced still, or protect Hanover. So which one are we going to do? I don't know. Let's. There's a bunch of these are bonus objectives basically, which secondary objectives that will give us additional, effects, units, whatever. Let's do this one. Let's protect Hanover. I don't really know the difference between any of these, what it'll make. But anyway, you pick an objective, right? You get into it. Oh, you can also look at the full campaign map, so you can see where the different missions are on the map, which I think is just gorgeous. Beautiful presentation. This whole game is wonderfully presented. It really is great. But anyway, protect Hanover. We're going to do that. And we're going to jump right in. And this is where the game sort of turns into Battle Brothers. Act 1. Hanover. But yeah, basically every time you jump into a theatre, it randomly generates the world. Okay, so this is our army, for starters. So we have basically this, our whatever they are. This is going to give bonuses to all the people under their command, right? So this is our, brigade captain? I don't know what title he has. I know the game mentions it a million times, but I can't remember. But he's the officer for this brigade, and all of his bonuses as he levels up will apply to everyone under his command. Right? You can open up additional slots where you can have additional officers conferring bonuses to different sets of units. Right? So you can do that a few times. You can expand quite a lot. You can have like 5, I think, in total, which is pretty cool. But then you also have the sort of faction ruler that you're playing as, who will have these additional bonuses, and these will go up over time as well, which is pretty cool. You got your resources, thalers, which is your money, provisions, we're eating 5 per day, You got your reservists, which is your manpower. Like, that's literally how you replenish your guys. As you take casualties in battle, you need to replace them with your reservists. So that's really cool. And also ammunition. Every time you fire muskets, you're going to have to replace that ammo, which is really cool. So that's really fun. Also, you can change his hat to yellow, so pretty great. Pretty great start. And we also have a bunch of items, because each of these units actually have their own inventory. They have different, like, gear. So you can see this is our Prussian musketeers, and these are just our cantonist recruits, right? These two are basically your militia, you know? And so these guys actually have better equipment, for starters. So they have socket bayonets and Potsdam muskets, whereas these guys, they have worn muskets and worn bayonets, so their equipment is worse. But we can have rubbish units with great equipment if we're able to get like a load of money and buy a load of decent gear, or loot all of the right enemies. So you can end up with like really powerful units, really performing above and beyond. So, let's see, military treatise. Let's give you extra reload skill. So you can see currently, so before we equipped it, 24-second reloads, 22 seconds. Veterancy gain, we're going to whip these guys into shape, literally. We're going to get a quartermaster here, their morale will be a little lower, but I want to get them to veterancy quicker so we can upgrade them to Prussian musketeers. You can see there's a whole upgrade tree. You start with your basic troops. This is almost like Mountain Blade, how recruitment work, how, like, you know, upgrading your units work. You start with your basic units, and then you can go off into different trees to upgrade to different types, which is really cool. I think that's really interesting concept. We're probably going to keep all of these as like pretty standard line infantry, though. We also have these provincial cavalry as well. They also have worn sabers, which is a bit rubbish. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's give you cylindrical ramrods. 20.1 seconds, so not quite 3 per minute, but pretty much. So I'm pretty happy with that. We are also, if they're reloading the quickest, we'll give them tobacco rations, so they can also have some better accuracy. Their stamina will suffer a little bit because of that, but that's okay. That's okay. Probably. And then field munitions for better morale and move speed. Sure, I'll give these guys the field munitions, why not? And morale damage received and fire damage received. I guess I'll just put that down too, so you can, yeah, have higher morale, I guess. So these guys, they're going to veterans, you know, they're going to get experience very quickly, but these guys are never going to break, although they probably still will break. What is their morale? Morale is only 47, so our more trained professionals are a lot better. But anyway, we've dished out all of our equipment now. And here we are. War is upon us. General, your army stands at the frontier. Though modest in size, your forces are disciplined and in good order. A nearby depot lies ahead, lightly defended, and will serve as a starting point to begin your campaign, though you'll need to press onward soon after. The land is open, and the roads clear, ideal for seeking out skirmishes and encounters. Engage patrols boldly, even those larger than your own. Their troops are of a lower quality, and their spoils and equipment will serve your army well. We await your progress. Very cool. So we're currently paused. And you notice this is very Battle Brothers-esque. It's even presented in a similar way. But we're going to be wandering around this map, right? We're going to be wandering... Whoops. I did not mean to do that. I meant to go there. I was trying to move the map and press the wrong button. So you see there's loads of landmarks. This is all randomly generated. It's all procedurally generated. This is where we need to go. We need to defeat this army. All right, we need to defeat the enemy headquarters. And then it'll go back to the world map, and we'll get another choice of 3 missions to do. You know, to like... attack Paris. I don't know where this will end up. But, you know, we'll get a bunch of objectives to do, and it'll generate another map that we'll wander around and grab resources and do camps and do these secondary objectives and, like, all sorts. And I think that's a really cool format, because it means your strategy is going to be slightly different every time. How you approach situations is going to be slightly different every time. And there's constantly these choices to make every time you end up somewhere. So you can really play in your own way, you know, either trying to be sort of good or do whatever it takes to get the things that you need to continue, which I think is really cool. I think it's great. It's not like there's a proper like morality system. It's always really just choosing which, you know, which resources you want. But sometimes you will end up doing pretty horrible things because you need that particular resource. Or maybe you won't. Maybe you won't. But I think it's really cool. It just adds context to everything in a really nice way. So, Your Grace, a supply cache lies before us, but a handful of enemy stragglers stand watch. We must strike swiftly and seize one part of the stock before they can react. Coin, provisions, or powder. Such haste will rouse them to battle, yet their strength is slight, and our men are confident the fight will be ours. We can take their money, provisions, or ammunition. I'm going to go for money. It's only 40, which is kind of weak. Yeah, you know, actually, I've changed my mind. I'll go provisions. And look at that. There's going to be an army. Let's have him. So you can see the number of men we have under our command. We have 4,600 men. They have 3,600. So we got the advantage. We got the advantage. Looks like they have a unit of cavalry. They have French fusiliers and royal recruits. Very fun. Let's have them. And here's deployment, and deployment really matters. So one thing I love about this game is the presentation. So it's largely 2D, right? It's all very low poly. But you'll see us moving the camera. This is the extent to which we can rotate the camera. And basically everything is presented as sprites. So you really zoom in, and it's all like, yeah, cardboard cutout houses. Some of them go real squiffy if you try and look behind them, though. But you can ignore that, you know, because look at this. How great does this look? It feels very much like playing a war game or something, you know? I mean, we are playing a war game, but like a tabletop one. It has that sort of feel about it, which I really enjoy. You can see the enemy ranks here. And, oh, these guys we have to be careful about, because they have, what are they called? Chevaux de Frise, I believe? Something like that. So we don't want to run cavalry into them, because they will get killed very quickly. So we need to be careful about that, about where we stick our cavalry. But anyway, cover is sort of contextual, right? So it doesn't force you to like press a button which will, you know, have them enter all the buildings or anything. Just if you deploy sort of in a city, right, in a town, it'll just smush everyone through all of the buildings. It doesn't matter. They're basically just for show to represent this area that they fill is cover. So we have 99% cover in here, because presumably they're using all the buildings. So it assumes that they are using, you know, they're doing the things that you would sort of assume that they would do should you order them into a city, right? Into a town or village or whatever. So it's pretty cool. So I like that. The same if you go near a fence, it just says, yeah, you're in cover, and it'll always tell you how much cover everyone is in. So I like that. I like that. There's no fuss. There's no like, oh, they're not, you know, they're not lining up along that properly, like it's getting janky. No, they're just, look, you're near a fence, you're behind a fence, don't worry about it. And I like that. I think that's really good. It keeps things real simple in a way that I respect a lot. So I'm going to line up here. In fact, I'm going to be a little smarter about it. Do something like that. And we have these other cavalry units. I'm wondering if I want to try and flank around with some cavalry. If I do, I think I'll go that way. So, just like Total War as well, each sort of, you know, officer will have this aura around them, you see. So that will protect, not protect, you know, buff morale is the word I'm looking for. Well, words. God, love little windmills and things. Just, it's beautiful. The game is gorgeous. It's really well presented. The fact that it goes with like a lo-fi look that actually just looks amazing, you know? Like, you don't have to have incredibly high fidelity for a game like this. You spend most of it zoomed out anyway. So I think they've done a really good job. And like, there are little areas where there's a little mist and things that make it feel a little bit more high fidelity. Oh, and the hills are all drawn on. These are all just drawn on. And yet, it gives the impression, right? It absolutely sells it. So I think the design of this game is fantastic. I think the camera being locked to this angle really helps them keep it as lo-fi as possible. With as few problems as possible, you know? And so it lets you have these insanely gigantic units running around. You can hear them marching. Sound design's really good too, actually. You know, so I don't know. The game just it oozes quality in a way that I just haven't seen from a game trying to do this. Really, I feel like every game that's trying to do something like Total War ends up just real janky, you know? Whereas this, they figured out what's possible, and then they did it to a really high standard, you know? And I think that's amazing. Right, so you can change the speed as well. These guys are going to be so tired when they get over the river. They're going to be really tired. So you can also run, by the way. Sometimes you will want to race enemies to a certain landmark, so you can make sure you're in cover. So the fences don't give us a huge amount of cover, but 64% is still a hell of a lot better than nothing. And yeah, they are going to end up real tired walking over this river as well, which is great. Great for us. It also records how many casualties they've had, how many kills they've accrued. So our musketmen aren't getting many kills yet, but accuracy is improved the shorter the range. So you can see we're starting to get a few more kills. Remember, 3 shots per minute from these guys. They haven't even shown up yet for battle. Come on, mate. So these royal recruits, they're in a group of 1,600. We have 1,400 per unit. These guys are going to be a bit of a problem, I think. These French provincial cavalry. I think they might be as good as our provincial cavalry, but I can't be sure. I'm actually going to run Friedrich II von Prussian over here. And they're also going to be really tired from the river, which should help us. We will see... Oh, look, they're already starting to break. It's amazing. I'm actually going to charge them. Oh, they're retreating already. Alright, let's get you over here. But yeah, this is going to be pretty evens, like even Stevens, which is going to hurt like hell. I'm a little worried about that. We're going to lose a lot of cavalry here. Although, we did win. I think, yeah, I think having other people fleeing nearby has helped. In fact, you stay on them. And you stay on them. And then you can move over this way, start getting shots into this lot. So they are actually reaching us from here, which is no good at all. So I'm actually going to retreat. So they have to run forwards to keep shooting at us. Okay, it looks like they're actually trying to angle this way. So tell you what. A lot of these are going to end up poking on the river, so let's actually move out. Let's charge in here. And, okay, they're shattered. And you see that? Our stamina's terrible. So let's not have you running anymore. Let's get out of range of these guys. They are starting to get in now. I was trying to get them in melee, but now perhaps I won't. And we can't undo it. They're charging now. Once the order is charged, they kind of get locked in. Alright, we're going to lose a lot of Cantonist recruits there, I think. Okay, we've got to have you guys walking. Just walk, guys. Come on. Come on now. But hopefully... Oh, we are tired as well. So yeah, this is going to sting. This is going to sting a lot. This was a mistake. I was hoping they'd stay angled then, be able to charge into their flank. But no, they... Yeah, they had our number. They had our number on that one. We can probably shoot some of them, though. They are starting to break. Their morale isn't the best. The rest of their army is gone, so... You know what? Oh, there they go. There they go. Yeah, just getting some shots into the side there. Upset them. If you shoot into the flanks, you tend to do more damage as well. I don't entirely know how that's the case. I don't know. I don't know the physics of, like, 1 billion missiles. You know, the sort of the maths there. Flying at, a billion men. But, sure. I mean, morale, sure. But, yeah, it does more actual damage as well, I think. I think the game specified that at some point. We did just find a 6-pound gun. That's great news, actually. So yeah, we've just got a bunch of items. Better horseshoes. So, lots of things like captured uniforms, and you can get battle standards and things. Obviously, you're not going to be equipping them, because you're not going to be flying, the enemy's colours. But you can sell them. So, that's good. And uniforms are the same. Because obviously you're not going to wear enemy uniforms. So, yeah, pretty cool. Nice. We got some good stuff here. Also, very much in that sort of Total War way, you do get to choose what you do with folks. Which, you know, if you say, well, that's a bit of a rip-off, I think history did it first, actually. I think a war might have set the precedent on this stuff. So we could ransom them for thalers and ammunition. We can conscript them to get a bunch of reservists, which honestly I think is a pretty good start. Because we rarely have enough reservists to fill up casualties for the first couple of fights, so let's make sure we have plenty of reservists. And, you know, at nearly 1,000 we have now seems like a lot, but we can burn through those really quickly. You know, if one unit gets sort of decimated, well, I guess not decimated, that's only 10%, but anyway, if one unit gets absolutely, you know, wrecked, then yeah, that's easily 1,000. So I just click the buttons to give everyone back their ammunition. That's right, ammunition every single time they fight. You have to replace their ammo. It's not one-to-one, though. It's not each musket ball is one ammo, by the way. That'd be mad, but still. And then another button, healed everyone. But you can also stretch these along. In fact, you can delete a unit to get more reservists to give them to someone else, apparently. I didn't realize you could do that. I've never gone up and down in that sort of demonstrative way. But yeah, we'll hang on to that gun for now. I think. Sturdy shoes. Let's give you guys sturdy shoes, I guess. Why not, eh? And you can get your horseshoes. Here you go. Better shoes for horses. Everyone's getting shoes today. Horses, people. Stamina and move speed. Really nice to get those bonuses. We also have spontoons. These, you can see what they can be equipped by the way, in the top corners. So infantry. That's infantry, by the way. You can see that's their hat on the top, you see. It's a person with his hat on is the icon there. Or a horseshoe, because cavalry, or a gun, because guns. So there you go. That's what you can equip these items on, in case you were wondering. So yeah, spontoons. Put up veterancy. I was sort of speeding you guys towards veterancy. Get an extra 10%. Why the hell not? And you can get extra reload time and stamina, perhaps. Or do I want to give that to you as well? This is all upgrading... Oh no, that's accuracy. So you can upgrade their item slots. This is a per unit basis, by the way. So that's just the one unit gets that extra slot. And there we go. 18.7 second reload. Yep, Sharp's finest right there. I know, Sharp probably wasn't born yet. It's fine. Also, he's fictional. It's fine. Just don't let that bother you. So, let's go out of camp and we'll go to Einbeck. Or Einbeck? Something. We'll go to Beck. Right, where do we want to go? So, Powder House will give us upgrades for artillery, which is really nice. We can also sell our own artillery for a fairly good price, actually. Fairly good price. So... yeah, we can get some quite cheap recruits, but before we do that, we would need to upgrade this new brigade, so that'll cost us 300. Okay, so I'm going to do that now, even though I probably shouldn't. Alright? As bizarre as that sounds. You can also go to the town square to get things like medicines and yeah, like religious icons. It's all more items. These all fill up your like ration slots. So a lot of these things, when it says, you know, item, comma, rations, you can only have one ration per person, right? So although they don't have specific slots for different types of items, you can't have multiple kinds of the same item. So you can't have, like, multiple pairs of shoes, right? Things like that. So you've got to bear that in mind. So usually, you know, you get whatever you think is sort of best for your boys. So pretty cool. So yeah, that stuff we'll be buying. But we're going to sell these clothes. We've got some captured uniforms, so we can get a bit of extra money there. Unfortunately, we have nowhere we can get a officer from here. We can't get any officers. So that will be a problem. Because I don't know if you can or not, but I don't think you can actually fill these slots until you have an officer leading the brigade. So until we get an officer, you can see how spare officers will be in the top right there. So we won't actually be able to recruit anyone, I don't think. But it is something I want to test out. As bizarre as that sounds. So we've now spent all of our money. Okay, we do have it. So I guess they just don't get any bonuses, perhaps. I'm going to find out. But I would love to have more units as quickly as we can. No items. Worn muskets, worn bayonets. He's not going to do so hot, but still, it's more people pointing and shooting, isn't it? Although more people dying as well, arguably, so maybe it's not the best thing in the world, but it's what I've chosen to do. So there we go. Oh, also, you can see in Einbeck, you can buy provisions and things. The cost of all this stuff will change, depending on the town. Here, surplus mana available. What? Anyway, there's a surplus available of supply surplus. So there you go, plus 20%. So just what, more supply? Oh no. Sorry, there's also an amount here. These circles will deplete as you buy things. So I will show you... here we go, we get 500 more men, which is really cheap. And see, this depletes. So there's 25% more, you know, numbers of these you can get, is what that is. Anyway, let's go check out this convoy, because it's something that we can see. Our manpower will replenish on the march. Treasury escort. Your Grace, we have intercepted a convoy transporting coinage. Likely the treasury of a local garrison being moved under escort. The gold has been hastily packed, and there is no time to search it all. We may seize what we can, and continue marching, or halt the column, dismantle the wagons fully, and recover every last thaler. The latter will delay us a full day, and may summon a patrol in response. I don't think... you know what? Let's let a day pass. So, the enemy headquarters objective. Underneath, you can see that will slowly fill up, and that is the enemy getting ready to come out and attack us. So we need to be prepared before they do that. Or maybe go and destroy the headquarters before they do. But either way, they're going to send out an army to face us. And a lot of the actions you take on this map will delay them, because it'll be things that will, like, you know, ruin their supply lines or whatever else. So it'll delay them coming to get us, which is very useful. Gives you more time to prepare. Great. Or if you do attack them preemptively, presumably they're in a weaker state because they're less prepared, because this bar is less full. But anyway, but I still think we can do this because I actually want to face a field army, because that will let us progress quicker. Because it'll give us a whole extra battle to do. And 5,400, not too bad. So let's face them. So they have a bit more cavalry than us. They have 2 units of cavalry, but we have a lot more line infantry. Fewer officers, though. Fewer officers, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so here's the boys. Not a lot of cover here. We might be able to race them to this town, though, actually. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to try and race them to the town. So, control, click, gives you, you know, more boys. Lets you select multiple fellas. Okay, so yeah, we're going to race them to here. Because if we can get into this town in a hurry, we are going to have to double time it. But if we can get this town, we'll have a lot of cover. Because they're coming to fight us, remember, because we're... I mean, they always seem to be on the attack. The AI always seems to have a similar, you know, behave quite similarly, where they're trying to win the battle when they're in a battle, so they'll always try and move to apprehend you and, you know, get to cover and things themselves. Okay, I think we'll get in here, but some of the further ones, it'll be a little tricky. So if you get on a hill and you get extra range, I think, and accuracy, I think it is. But generally there's not cover on hills. So, you know, you're more vulnerable to attack as well up there, I think. Unless it lowers their accuracy shooting up at you, I'm not entirely sure of all of the nuance yet. So all our guys are already tired. You can start walking, because you should get there with plenty of time left. And you see he's already not tired. Just walking, you will recover. These two are going to have to keep running now. It doesn't look like these guys will be like on the front line anyway, so that's not so bad. Like, anyway. But, yeah, these Prussian musketeers on this side are going to really struggle. And I also worry... Oh, no, actually. These guys have a lot of cover, so hopefully these guys will also have a lot of cover once they're... Yep, there we go. 79. Is it going to ever go above 79, though? I would like more cover than that. Ooh, is that it? Yeah, I don't feel like this is giving us the best cover. I might have to shimmy over a little bit. Just, this is the densest city, is the thing. But that'll still be better cover than what they're getting out here, so there is that. German Fusiliers, French Fusiliers, and Royal Recruits. So the French have hired some Germans here, huh? Yeah, it would seem so. Okay. Ooh, I don't know. But yeah, in dense formations like this, obviously not great against artillery, but a lot better against cavalry. If cavalry charge into here, they're going to get killed real quickly. And yeah, you're not getting much cover there either. What is your range? Their range is 100. Ours is also 100. Yours is 125. Yeah, so these two should be able to shoot. Okay, yeah, you can... oh, I can't tell you to stop running. You are already just moving to position. You can start walking, though, even though it's going to take you some time. Yeah, how is your fatigue, anyway? Where is your fatigue? That's your move speed. Stamina, there we are. 48 out of 48, they're completely fine. 44 out of 44. These guys, 12 out of 44. But yeah, 13, 14, 15. It's going up, but yeah, it's taking some time. Yeah, you guys will get there one day. You actually have no cover there? Jesus, okay. Do that for now, then? Okay, good. You get some more cover in these buildings. Good. Now, these two, you're already starting to fire. I don't like that we're going to have multiple guys. And these guys are going to be in cover, but their accuracy is affected if they're in woods. And I'm a little worried about their cavalry. Okay, so they've lost only 33, and they've killed 52, which is surprising. Oh, that guy's got higher range. Didn't even realise. Okay, you know what? Let's just have everyone start blasting these guys. They're going to keep getting shot by them, but that's fine. Not a problem. Not a problem. And you guys are very tired. Bless them. Alright, you know what? I'm actually going to move to here. Double time. Start blasting into there. These guys are going to lose a lot of units. That's okay. And you're the ones in the middle. Okay. You guys have killed 127 units so far. I love seeing the stats there. It's really good. These guys are going to start... Oh, they're shooting to this crowd, actually. Interestingly. Yeah, these recruits are taking all the hits. Well, okay, they're taking some hits too. Yeah, I don't like this cavalry out here. I really don't. I think what I might have to do is get these two to deal with them. Tell you what. Let's just try and mess them up. It'll stop them firing. It'll certainly stop them firing. I need to keep an eye on these guys. I think those are our tents. Alright, they are still getting a lot of kills in, which I'm not happy about. They've killed 182, though. Alright, they're retreating, which is brilliant. Let's get you, like, over here, maybe? Let's just get you into maybe better cover. And we can start shooting these jerks. Okay, let's turn you off melee. You guys are very tired. But if you could shimmy around and get another volley into them, that'd be great. You have almost reloaded. Okay, you're going to have to, like, fall back there, I think. You are getting charged quite severely. But our countercharge should break them really quickly. Ooh, they are going to be shooting into our cavalry there, which I don't like. Okay, let's pull you guys both back. And, yeah, these guys are charging. Okay, I think we can... Okay, good. They're going to be pretty horribly flanked here. And they are tired. Our general isn't, but that should break them. That should break them. Alright, let's take cover in the church. You guys continue to be shooting into there, please. And maybe... No, you're not going to get shot into there, are you? But their cavalry is getting routed. They shattered, which is great. I'm going to move to this side so I can put some pressure into these guys. Okay, they're running right into our other units, which is interesting. Okay, these recruits are getting real hurt too, which I'm not happy about. You guys are trying to deal with the German Fusiliers, but that's not really your bag. Alright, we're still chasing them off with Friedrich here. I'm amazed these guys haven't shattered yet. Okay, that might... There we go. There we go. There we are. Alright, let's have you walk. Oh, they're retreating. They're retreating. They didn't like the look of us engaging on their flanks. Now, if you move onto that hill, that would be lovely. And if you guys could move over here... In fact, if both of you guys could move over here, that'd be brilliant too. Then we can start dealing with them. You've taken a lot of damage, but... Now we need to keep an eye on them. At some point they're going to want to turn around, I think, because they won't want to be recharged by cavalry. But for now, I want to see how much more damage these guys can all accomplish. You guys are keeping them busy, but they haven't broken yet. They haven't shattered. These guys may rally as well. But yeah, we've lost a lot of men today. But hopefully we can take a bunch of captives. And we can just replenish them all. We should be able to get a bunch more loot from fighting these guys. There's another unit shattered. Alright, let's stop you running. I'll just have you start walking back. Okay, that's a good volley. And now that they're wavering, I'll charge them in the rear. They're not going to like this. Not going to like this one bit. There they go. There we go. That's a victory. That was really fun. I really love that. But yeah, fatigue plays a big part of it. You really want to, like, although you want to be charging your cavalry around like mad constantly, just one charge on an enemy, unless they break immediately, they're going to be too exhausted to then charge into something else. But sometimes sending them in tied is just enough if something's about to break to try it. But it's a risk. If the enemy holds, you're going to lose a lot of guys. So it's, yeah, it's exciting. And the cavalry really slows down when it's tied too. Like, oh boy. They're running in slow motion at one point. It's, yeah. I love the battles. I just love the battles. I think they're really good. I love this pace, you know? I'm so used to, like, arcadey stuff from Total War Warhammer, where, like, the battles are over in 2 minutes. Having these, like, pitched battles where you are just under fire for an extended period of time and you just have to kind of take it, you know? They'll be like, well, that's what they're there for. They're line infantry. They just stand there and they exchange fire for a while we make these little decisive, you know, little decisive plays sort of within, you know, sort of the wider conflict. It's really cool. It's really, yeah, it's a very different feeling game, and I appreciate that. Amazing. I just got an achievement of some kind. Win 10 battles. Wow. So I had already got the achievement in this game for killing 10,000 enemies. So the fact that I've killed 10,000 enemies in fewer than 10 battles is kind of insane, isn't it? Yeah, big battles. We lost 1,000 men. We do have enough reservists, though. We do have enough reservists. We also found some riding boots. So better move speed for our cavalry. I don't quite understand how them... Maybe the horses are wearing these boots. Yeah, it's probably for the horses. Iron ramrods. Heavier and sturdier than wood, these iron tools make reloading smoother and less prone to breakage in the heat of battle. Extra reload speed. Better horses, potentially. Interesting. Large limber chest. These will lower the ammo consumption of your artillery, which is pretty cool. And yeah, okay. And more horseshoes, which you don't really need. Got some spirit rations, which puts up charge bonus, lowers accuracy. I did, in the first, like, my little test campaign of this, that was really fun. I had one of these recruits, these Cantonist recruits. I built them as a melee force. I gave them all of the melee bonuses, and I used them to always be the one that would charge in to break the enemy. And they actually did a great job, like really, really good. They got real powerful at that, which is pretty funny that you can sort of have, you can sort of go all in with that. So let's see. I do still think we need some reservists though. But the Talers would be nice so we can get more units. I'm going to go with the conscripts. Because we are going to need a bunch more. We are going to keep losing men. And all it takes is one battle to go, like, really badly. And we just won't be able to get to full strength again. And if that's ever the case, then we are screwed. Also, there will be events that sometimes people will be like, hi, I'm a fort, we could use some men. You can go, here's some men. They go, brilliant, here's a horse. Alright, it doesn't exactly play out like that, but, pretty much. Let's give you a horse. Boom. Better horse. So extra stamina. That 8 stamina extra is a big deal. Then be able to run around for longer. Yes, please. Iron ramrods for someone. Let's give you extra reload, because you have a slot for that. You could also do with some riding boots. And is that the same? Just horseshoe basic? Yeah, same ones. I'll keep them, just in case we get another unit of cavalry. Or we might upgrade one of these into a unit of cavalry at some point, if we're going to get more infantry in this other brigade. But then, what's your deal? Yours is reload speed, and move speed, and stamina, and veterancy. I like these abilities. Those abilities, I think, are pretty good for infantry. I think having a bunch of infantry here. We'll try and find an officer that's better at cavalry or artillery or something, because I can shift him over to there, you see. There's no point doing that yet, because, no bonuses here, but you can always shift your people around. So we can have one that's like really good with infantry, we can have another one focused on cavalry, another artillery, and then maybe another couple of infantry divisions. Yeah, so we can mix things up. Now, where next? We can start heading towards that convoy. So we need to secure encampments and convoys. There's a bunch of convoys up here, and encampments, actually. So we can get most of the objectives done if we just grab this stuff. And I guess get that encampment too. But yeah, most of our bonus objectives we can deal with up here. And it does look like that might be a larger town than this one, so maybe we can get officers from there. There are a couple of negative effects there, though. If I can pause it and have a look. Glanders outbreak. So less cavalry recruitable. So I assume glanders is like a horse disease? I have no idea. And stolen cattle, so there's fewer provisions. Bless them. Oh, hang on. Ooh, do I risk going back? I kind of want to go to those slums. So slums, in my experience, usually... actually, no, there's been a few different events. Okay, I'm not gonna go back for it. It can be useful, though. Oh, there's another town there as well. We'll visit that too. Smuggler's caravan. Interesting. Your Grace, a string of pack mules and carts has been intercepted. Their casks sloshing with spirits, bound for taverns and camps across the lines. The smugglers claim no allegiance, offering a share of their stock if allowed to pass. We may take what is offered and let them go, or seize the entire haul. We can buy some beer. We'll get an excellent beer ration for 40 talers, which actually sounds great. As bizarre as that is. Generally, like, good equipment it's a lot of talers. So, or excellent spirit rations, or we can just steal it and we get basic of the two. I guess if we're buying it, they give us the good stuff, right? Which I assume they have hidden. Or negotiate a bulk deal of their finest drinks. Ah. We don't have preserved rations or hearts and minds, though, as doctrines. So, yeah, we will basically... I think all this stuff at the top is doctrines. As you play, you will unlock more of them. I think generally if you take over an enemy fort, you tend to get given one. I don't know if it's just because you get more experience from that or something. I don't know if it's like an experience thing or if you do a feat of some kind, you get more. I don't know. I don't entirely know how it works. But, yeah, to unlock additional things. I think we're going to go with... I don't know the difference between beer and spirits in terms of what stats they do, so I'll just go beer. So this will give us extra melee damage and morale. Okay, let's get all of our cavalrymen drunk, shall we? Sorry. Let's get them excellently drunk. And yeah, we need to buy for an extra pocket. It's weird you have to buy pockets. You know, it's kind of an unusual thing. But I kind of like it as a gameplay device. So you can sort of put some restraint. If you do end up with a deluge of items, you can't immediately have someone like fully kitted out. It will cost you more and more to do that. But extra melee damage. That puts their melee damage up to 35. This is providing 8. 8 of that 35. Like, that's kind of nuts. Hussars are pretty good. But they're not as good as cuirassiers. So I'm going to go for the cuirassiers. We're going to go Prussian Dragoons first. These guys can be equipped with guns, but you actually need to have the guns. So I have had Dragoons, pardon me, and upgraded them to cuirassiers before I've even managed to find guns, which I think is pretty funny. But yeah, they've only got 2 points so far, 2 like level ups. They need to get to 4 to upgrade them. You can see stuff costs different amounts depending on their like quality, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, there are ways to gauge it. You just want to quickly upgrade something so it's a bit better, or you want to wait for longer and upgrade something, you know, perhaps more worthwhile in the long run. Quartermaster. Let's sell these clothes. And we do have spirit rations as well. That we got, which is nice. More ramrods. I mean, just getting ramrods for everyone might be worthwhile. There's also tompions, which tight-fitting barrel plugs that reduce fouling and moisture. Interesting. That puts up accuracy. That's not a bad idea. Ooh, shepherd's axes. Okay, these these I'm gonna buy. We don't have much money though. Ooh. Okay, what else can we do though? Because we can get some more recruits. And yeah, there's just we can get more horse-related business, including cavalry sabers. Tempting to get better. Ooh, basket hilt broadswords. Much better charge and better melee. 200 quid. You know what? I'm going to buy them because I'm a mad lad. Let's sell these clothes. Do we need the large limber chest? I mean, at some point we're going to have like an artillery division, right? We can actually upgrade one of our like infantrymen into an artillery team, and then we just equip them with these. So we may end up doing that. We can also upgrade them into cavalrymen as well, so we can make use of the horseshoes. So, you know, there is that too. So you can actually go like real cheap units in terms of recruitment, and then just get them up in terms of veterancy. But yeah, we're going to buy that. I think it'd be good to make sure these guys are really well equipped. So we're going to go with them. That's put their damage up to 41. So, and yeah, much better charge as well. Charge, 32 charge. Nice. Charge attempts how well the regiment performs in an initial charge. And in fact, when you charge enemies in, they have a bar that appears when they're declared a charge, and that's when you can't give them other orders, right? At that point. But when that bar depletes, right, you actually see it deplete, which is something I think would be amazing in Total War, because in Total War there's a charge bonus, and then it like slowly depletes, right? The effect of that bonus depletes, but it never tells you, right? It kind of feels like, is that the first, like on the charge, and then that's just like the first attack each guy makes? Is it that? No, it's like it's on a gradient, like it just, the bonus slowly depletes, and the game doesn't tell you that. There's no representation of it, but in this game there is, and I find that really cool. I like seeing that. You know, it shows you when the charge is in effect, and I think that's very cool. So there is artillery. There's artillery we could hire. Not going to though, because these guys cost too much. But yeah, just getting cantonist recruits each time I think might be the way to go. And we just go for full numbers at first. And then we can just upgrade them into the thing we need. I think that might work out really well for us. But it might also work out really badly, because we won't necessarily have the equipment that we need. Like these guys, I'm pretty sure when you buy these guys, they start with the gun, right? So, although these guns are rubbish, only worth 75 quid. Little 3-pounders. We've got much better guns than that. But still, they come with a gun when you hire them, you know, as is. And yeah, they've all got worn muskets, but the better units have better muskets, so actually, might be worth the extra cost. And they are just better immediately. I guess it depends if you can afford it. Anyway, you know what? We're going to stay in Walls Road. We're going to stay here. Right, we're going to stay here overnight. And by that, I mean until the next episode. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this. I really kind of love it. I think it's really cool. I love the presentation. I think it's really good combat. I think the combat system is great. Obviously, you know, I am used to playing Total War Warhammer more than the other Total Wars. I know, like, the older Total Wars had more of this pacing, and it is something I've missed. But the fact that this runs really well, and honestly, this looks better than older Total War games. Because it's, you know, it's not the highest fidelity that was possible at the time. It's stylized. So it's nice, like, high resolution. It's very crisp. It looks great. You know, it's a real pleasure to play. And it has so many interesting things with the, you know, the procedural generation. The fact you're just essentially running around like a warband. You know, it's that single force that you're running around with. I think is really cool. And I love games like that. I love games like that. I prefer that sort of... I kind of prefer that a lot of the time over painting a map and then having to, like, do a bunch of admin. Like, the bigger your empire gets, the more you're just, like, kind of thoughtlessly upgrading buildings and stuff. Like, that can get a bit much in, like, the late game. This one, I feel like the late game just means you can have more, you know, larger pitched battles with, like, bigger forces of people you're, you know, of units you're really attached to. And that feels great. I think that is really, really good. That is something that's really unique. So I love that. Anyway, guys, if you want to pick up this game for yourself, it's out tomorrow. And it's like £20 if you use the discount link. Well, the discount code. I think it's just Janet, but it's in the description. Just check the description. The link is there, so they know I sent you, and you can use my code for the discount. Okay. You can get it for about £20. Or, like, it's under $25, under €25. It's real cheap. But you can't get it until it's out, okay? So come back tomorrow. I'll be doing another episode tomorrow, so come back, get the link, get the discount code, and yeah, you can get a copy for yourself. You know the drill by now. You know how this stuff works. Anyway, also comment, like, and subscribe, you scoundrels. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.